Good afternoon, everybody. It's Valerie Ling here, clinical psychologist. How are you going this Sunday? I usually don't come on live on a Sunday, but I'm actually got a bit of a work day today, which is unusual. I'm heading out to present on a topic that, other than the burnout space, I get asked to do quite regularly, and it is the topic of on parenting. My thoughts on how to parent, and usually is about how to parent resilient children. I have to say that for me, part of parenting resilient children is actually figuring out how to be resilient parents. I'd love for someone to invite me to give a talk on that. This topic, however, without fail, is probably a topic that brings up quite a lot of emotions for me before I go. And as I was printing the material out to take with me and about to head out the door, I started to feel it again. And I was noticing that within myself, it's the tightening of the chest and kind of a nervousness in my stomach, and my head feels heavy. And as I attended to what was going through my head, I wasn't really surprised to see that what I was thinking is, what do I know about this topic anyway? I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm a parent. Just because I'm a psychologist doesn't mean I have the answers. And what are they going to think? Because unlike some other things like burnout, nobody really knows how I'm doing with my own stage of burnout, if I have it, but I can't control my children. They're out there. And thoughts of, oh no, people know my kids and they're going to see what a horrible job I've done of them. And oh, how could I think that? That's like such a heavy thing to put on my parents' seat. That's why you can't talk about raising resilient children. These thoughts, this has to be one of the hardest topics for me to talk on, although I deeply enjoy it and people seem to like to get me to talk about it. And as I attended to it, I wanted to share with you authentically that I think part of the issue with our problem of sense of self, you would have heard me talking about a sense of self and its relation to burnout, is our sense of self is really heavily weighted by a sense of shame, defectiveness and shame that comes up quite a lot in our burnout prevention and burnout treatment work. It's a sense of defectiveness and shame. Shame ultimately leads us to believe that there is something wrong with us that doesn't exist maybe in other people, that there's something defective about us. It makes us worry that other people are going to be able to see that we are going to lose credibility or standing, or worse, even our right, if you like, to be in a particular space. And shame pushes us to want to hide. We hide under a rock. We withdraw from the things that we do. We get swallowed up by it. And the more we attend to it, the more we will start to believe that there is something fundamentally wrong with us. So my sense of feeling of defectiveness or shame probably more closely linked to a sense of the imposter syndrome, as to, I don't really have the right to occupy that space of speaking about this topic because I don't actually really know if I've got it right myself and whether I'm doing okay. And fundamentally, am I okay? So it's that kind of thing of recognizing that when we're in this space, very often we are actually allowing ourselves to judge our value of ourselves based on outcomes. And in this case, because I can't control how my kids turn out, there are these nebulous outcomes that I can never really control. And if my sense of worth and my sense of identity is linked to that, to my success as a parent, I will forever actually feel vulnerable and ashamed because of the things that happen with my kids and how people are going to perceive them. So what's the antidote? Well, I have to say that Brené Brown probably is the person to listen to. And I guess what she says is that empathy is the antidote to shame. And I suppose linked to that is compassion. So when we hide under a rock and we don't talk about it, that's where shame grows. But if we reach out and we actually share how we're feeling with other people who we trust, we soon realize that these feelings and thoughts are not unique to us. You know, if everybody else is feeling them, then there's really nothing defective about you, right? It normalizes the struggle. having a bit of compassion for ourselves also just says that we don't have to have it all figured out. One of my favorite phrases to say to myself, other than Valerie, it's not about you, is you're a work in progress. You're a work in progress. Of course you are, right? How you're going to think and feel today, 1 week, 5 years from now is going to be vastly different, because I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to need some help, and I'm going to grow from that. I'm going to see that who the children turn out to be is ultimately also their choice. I can't control those things, and normalizing that really helps. To see that I'm a work in progress, you're a work in progress, kids are a work in progress, and the more important thing is being able to live in that authentic space and not holding on to those negative thoughts and feelings of shame, but really just letting them go and allowing yourself to fall into that space of seeing yourself as being a work in progress. Very often I flip it around in my head. I do have to work on that quite a bit when I'm doing these talks, to say what I'm basically going to have today is a conversation with other parents who get it. Other parents who know that it's kind of tricky to figure out how to raise children who have their own minds, have their own will. I'm going to be part of a conversation. We will grow together in it. It's not about me. I'm a work in progress. Guess what? So are you. Have a great day.